Mmm, so tasty!
Hey hunters, do you ever want to put a monster to sleep and absolutely destroy them with a meaty wake-up hit? Today I'm sharing one of my mix sets that lets you do just that. Now I can't think of many other aspects of this game as deliciously gratifying as watching a monster snooze without a care in the world, and bam! Rudely waking them up. What can I say? I like big numbers and I cannot lie. You greatsword mains can't deny. So stick around and I'll show you how this build works, what skills you need, and some tips to maximize your damage. First off, let's get into how the build is going to work. This set is built around putting the monster to sleep with a sword and shield, and then hopping on your sacred to swap to your greatsword, line up the perfect wake-up hit, and hope to God that the hitboxes aren't being very particular today. So to achieve these satisfying wake-up numbers, we're going to be leveraging the following armor skills. Peak Performance level 5 for plus 20 attack, Weakness Exploit 5 for the 30 affinity with the additional 20% on wounds, Max Might 3 for 30% affinity while stamina is full. This ensures that we're going to hit at least 60% affinity on weak point wake-up hits with 80% on those with wounds. So this mix set has a very simple rotation. First, you engage the monster with your sword and shield equipped. Once the monster slips off in the Dreamland, you hop on your sacred, swap to the greatsword, make sure your health is full to ensure you get the plus 20 attack boosted by peak performance, and then let it rip. Optionally, you can also snack on a mic pill and make sure your buffs are up. One thing to keep in mind though is that subsequent sleep procs are going to be less effective going forward. So if you have trouble getting set up right away, it might be best to at least ensure your health is full, all your buffs be damned. Now let's get into the main reason why you're here, guys. The build, right? So for this one, we're going to be running the Arc Vulcan Male and Coil Beta, which are going to be on the chest and waist. The Uthduna Alpha arms and the Uthduna Beta legs are going to be going on the arms and legs respectively, with the Gravios helm rounding out the rest of the armor pieces. For the talisman, we're going to be using the Exploiter Charm 2. For the weapons, I decided for this build we're going to be using a monster weapon and an Artian weapon. The sword and shield is going to be the Nerscylla Sword and Shield from the Nerscylla tree, with the Artian Greatsword with whatever element you want. Me, I went for Blast. You're going to want to make sure you have 3 attack infusions and 5 attack reinforcements. Now, I can already see the wheels turning. Yes, I get it. 5 attack reinforcements is really rare. And for those that don't want to spend hours grinding for relic parts, or those that just have not been blessed by RNG's sweet embrace, I will be sharing a few monster part options for the Greatsword. And once again, I do want to express that while it doesn't look like I'm using an Artian weapon, I am using a mod to layer my weapons to cover up the lackluster design of these Artian ones. Now as for decorations, I slotted in 3 Mighty Decos and 1 Flawless Deco as my required space. The rest, in my opinion, will be up to you, whatever you want to slot in, but if you'd like a little bit of a guide on my end, I slotted in 3 points of protection for that Divine Blessing 3, 2 points of chain because you can always use a little bit of extra attack when you're using the sword and shield. I threw in 1 adapt because I have a bad habit of forgetting cool drinks and hot drinks and stuff. And of course shockproof because I don't like getting flinched. On the weapons, I put a crit status KO Jewel 3 on the sword and shield with a Sleep Jewel 2 and a Sleep Jewel 1. For the Greatsword, I'm using a critical 3, a critical 2, and attack 3 deco. So with that, I said I would have some choices for you for those that don't want to do the Artian grind or just haven't had luck with the Artian grind. One of my first choices is Rathlow's Fire Sword. While it does have a much lower raw, what I do to make up for it is running attack 3 and attack 2 jewels to get that max attack boost. I throw in 1 crit boost jewel to ensure that I'm going to at least get level 4 crit boost. This is nice because the weapon itself has 3 points of crit boost on it. The 10 affinity is always nice to have, especially with a build where you want to try to hit that critical hit. And the fire damage can augment the raw a little bit, but not by much though, to be honest. It's still going to have a lower effective raw than running an Artian Greatsword. Another option, and one that's a little bit closer, but still does have some caveats, is the Guardian Arcveld Greatsword. Now while it does have negative 10% affinity, it features a higher base raw than the Artian. The caveat though is that you're going to need to run at least 3 points of handicraft to hit that white sharpness, and the rest of the deco slots I would put in the crit boost, giving it crit boost 4. Now the sliver of white you're going to get on this isn't really going to be a problem, since ideally most of the hunt is going to be using the sword and shield. You only swap to the Greatsword when the monster is asleep. My final recommendation is going to be the Guardian Doshagama Greatsword. Despite an abysmal negative 20% affinity, it boasts an incredible 250 base raw. And like the Guardian Arkfeld, the Guardian Doshagama one does require some handicraft. I put 3 points in it to hit that white sharpness. And once again, I'm doing a crit 3 and a crit 1 deco to get crit boost 4. Now, I have seen some beefy numbers using these options. More so the Guardian Doshagama and the Guardian Arkfeld. But honestly, if you do have the patience for it, and you want to go on that grind, you're going to have a much better time running the Artian rolls. Honestly, if you can get at least 3 or 4 attack reinforcements on your Artian Greatsword, you're going to be sitting pretty. And honestly, it's going to outperform anything I can even recommend at this point. And with that, my fellow hunters, it's another mix set in the books. There's nothing more satisfying than watching a monster go from peacefully snoozing to getting absolutely obliterated by an unexpected true charge slash. Especially if you can pull off one of those 360 no-scope TCS wake-ups, right? This build is great for both solo and multiplayer hunts, and it's especially fun when you can coordinate with a team to get those perfectly timed wake-up hits. Plus, with the sword and shield, sleep application is going to be super quick, making it one of the most efficient ways to set them up and knock them out. But once again, thank you all for tuning in. If you enjoyed this build, hit the like button to let me know. And if you have your own crazy mix set ideas, drop them in the comments. I'd love to keep on talking to you guys. But also don't forget to subscribe for more Monster Hunter builds. They'll be coming in the following weeks. And as a reminder, I do stream on Twitch, so I'd love to see you guys drop by. All the links are going to be in the description below. But with that, I'll bid you adieu. And once again, I got a little bonus for my fashion hunters. The layered mix set I wore in this video is up on the screen now if you'd like to put it together yourself. But with that, I'll catch you next time. But until then, y'all stay frosty, hunters, and get lifted. See you soon.